Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Keenan Allen said, run it back.
The best show for Chicago.
All right.
This is going to be an interesting one. Most of us just believe this was a one and done. Will it be? We got to talk about that. And, of course, got to give our three key players to a Chicago Bears victory this coming Sunday. We need one. 6-game skid. It's ugly out here. And then we play America's favorite game. More or less, all that more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Morning Breeze edition. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love in the early AM, man. How you feeling today, Jordan JC?
Man.
Is this a meaty morning?
It's a meaty morning, but actually, I am on my journey now. I went to Dunkin' Donuts this morning, got myself a cold brew. I am trying to lose weight now.
Oh, finally. Haven't you been in the gym for like 6 weeks? Never mind, don't worry about that part.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Hey, man, the date is 12/6/2024. It's 7:02 in the doggone morning. JC's off cold brew and Oreo.
Whoa!
And he's ready to fight God or become him. Let's go. Why do you always go like Street Fighter character?
The start scene, the start select scene.
Every morning, you just go Street Fighter character a little bit. Not really sure what's going on over there. I got a lot of question marks. Got a lot of question marks, buddy. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Stop playing with your boy. Go ahead and
come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. I mean, listen, this is a tough one. Baki does have it on good authority that Kyle Shanahan's trying to buy endangered species and get them to Chicago. Get them out of there. You got to get them out of San Fran. You got to get them out of San Fran.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Bad dude, man. Bad dude, man. You know Baki's Mr. News guy.
Yeah,
so
you know.
Baki's always breaking the news. Somebody questioned Baki's like news breaking abilities in the chat the other day. I was like, "We're talking about Baki?
Can't do that.
There's people in here we can talk about. We can't talk about Baki. Hey, man, let's jump into today's episode, man. I appreciate you guys for rocking with us on this early morning. I mean, it's not that early. It's 7 o'clock. Wake up. Keenan Allen was asked yesterday about the possibility of sticking around Chicago. He said, him and DJ were having a conversation the other day, and basically what was said was, hey, let's do this again. Let's run it back. And that had me asking a question. I thought that Keenan Allen was a good trade because you're going to get the draft compensation back after he leaves and goes and signs somewhere else. Never even thought there was a real possibility of there being a run it back scenario. But if we're being real about this, how Keenan Allen has played over the last few weeks with Caleb Williams, he has been that safety blanket. And listen, the players need to continue to get better with how they've been. But I mean, the last 3 weeks here, or really kind of 2 weeks, 86 yards, 1 touchdown, did have a fumble, but was able to recover that. 9 receptions. He had 73 yards in that Lions game, 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions in that game. Has kind of been up and down. Definitely has not been the Keenan Allen of old, but I don't mind the old Keenan Allen.
I see what you did
at a proper price. See what I did there? Flip that little double entendre. Right now, Keenan Allen making $20 million. As you start to look at the list of guys on the $20 million list, he definitely is kind of the one that sticks out. I mean, Chris Godwin right there with him, Mike Evans, T. Higgins, Stephon Diggs, a little bit more there, right? Like Keenan Allen's kind of that odd name out there. But he's not, I don't want people to think all of a sudden you're going to get him at this ridiculous discount, right? Because you start to go down the list and I see guys that I would say, Keenan Allen maybe a little bit better than, right? You get to a Jerry Jeudy with the Browns. He's making $17 million. Still give me Keenan Allen over Tyler Lockett. He's getting 15. Cortland Sutton getting 13 there. DeAndre Hopkins getting 13, which is kind of surprising there. Like that there's that fine line where I don't know if you can really get a discount for Keenan Allen. But I also don't believe that you have to go out and give him a ridiculous raise. If you're bringing Keenan Allen back, he's 32 years old right now, 2-year deal, $40 million deal, $30 million in guarantees. Are you on board for that?
I'll say this, Pat. If Keenan Allen has any awareness, and I know he understands, he's at a point in his career where he's on the downward side of being that guy. You're talking about a guy who is going to be probably Here's a guy that is probably going to be a very good wide receiver 3. If you're looking at his season with us, it's the tale of two halves. If you told me, would you bring him back, and it was the first 5 or 6 games, I would be like, absolutely not. Those stats are atrocious, but there has been chemistry. There has been an uptick in performance. There's been an uptick in touchdowns in the last month or so with Keenan Allen. And as you said, hey, Pat, it gets cold in here in Chicago, and sometimes you need that safety blanket. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? He has become that. He has become that for Caleb on many occasions. We've seen him be the third down guy that you need to go to. A couple drop passes, little unreliable at times. That's a little uncharacteristic of Keenan, but of course that's probably because of him being a little older. But for the most part, he's a guy that, yes, you wouldn't mind being the third option behind a couple of young up-and-coming receivers or reliable receivers in DJ and Roma Dunze. And so if you can get that number down under 20, obviously, no, I'm not going to bring it back for 20. But if he's reasonable and understands, at this twilight in his career, I would say a good 14, maybe 14, 15 million range. With the names that you mentioned, I would still take him over a certain amount of people.
Tyler Lockett making 15.
I'm taking him over Tyler. I'm sorry.
That means you got to pay him more.
Well, I would match it. Okay.
Jerry Judy's making 17.
He's better than Jerry to me.
Christian Kirk's making 18.
Jesus. All right. This is getting crazy.
Deontay Johnson makes 18.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. You're not like, if you're bringing Keenan Allen back, you're not bringing him back at a discount. Again, I don't think that you have to go out there and overpay. I don't think that you have to go out there and spend the bag on Keenan Allen, right? and lose some of your cap flexibility, I guess. Like, I also think it depends on, and this is really what it comes down to me, where else are you making your moves? Like, if that's 20 mil, but you're all in on Roma Dunze as the future of your team, you're all in on just having a 2-man punch, and maybe you use Tyler Scott a little bit in there, maybe you don't, whatever, however that works out for you.
Yeah.
Those are the things, the decisions that you got to make, where you say, all right, but do we invest this back into the offensive line and let Keenan Allen walk and just get the pick back, right? Do we invest this into the defensive line? You're going to have to sign people in free agency this year. Right. And realistically speaking, that $80 million number that's in everybody's brain is because Keenan Allen's money comes off of the books next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't mind spending the money to keep Keenan Allen around, but I do think that you have to look at what else this Bears team needs for Keenan Allen to be successful, for Caleb Williams to be successful. That's realistically all that we care about, right? What is going to lead to the success of Caleb Williams, and which will in turn lead to the success of the team. But I think Keenan Allen is a part of that success.
Yeah, no, I agree. Whoa, taking shots today in the chat. JC, Apparently, I'm as cheap as the McCaskies, according to Jacob Capone. But I'm just saying, hey, I wouldn't
How
give
much did that
20 or
cold
18.
brew cost?
That's a good one. I don't know. At the same time, you got Tyler Scott on the team, and he hasn't done a whole lot this year. I feel like he's just been put in reserve for that season.
Tell you though, doesn't that like
what? That he's
doesn't
not
that
really
tell
going to
you?
be it.
I guess not, right? Because we don't really have the best talent or didn't have the best talent evaluators.
Yeah, that doesn't really.
I guess it doesn't tell
bother
you
me. That doesn't bother me as much that he hasn't played because you got 3 really good receivers in front of him. My thing is, you guys in the chat are killing me today. But my thing is basically, yes, I would still see if there's a chance that we bring him back, but at the same time, I don't know. It just depends on the number. Crimson, you shut your mouth.
JC buy a dollar store steak.
I would never ever do that. I don't care how hungry I am. I'm not going to Dollar Tree or Dollar Store to get those steaks. That would be death.
Somebody on TikTok did like
I think I've seen that.
They sell steak in the dollar store. Like, what the heck is it? And like brought it home and cooked it. And he was like, I'll say this. I cannot confirm that it is steak, but it's not terrible.
No, bro. No. That's that Miss Cal Shanahan does. See, Cal Shanahan eats steaks from Dollar Tree.
Do we have it on Good Authority?
We got that on Good Authority.
No. Cal Shanahan eats dollar store steaks?
I wouldn't stoop that low. No, it's not even bacon.
He said a dollar store steak is basically bacon.
That's complimentary. That ain't no bacon. Good God, you guys are nuts tonight.
Oh, duh. By the way, over 100. There you go.
All right.
But no, man. I mean, listen. The conversation around Keenan is it's an interesting one because I get bringing back Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
And clearly, right, I think that there was a clear disconnect, especially with him. He's been one of the more vocal people about it. There was a clear disconnect with him and what you got from Shane Waldron versus what you're getting with him and Thomas Brown. So you also have to take that into account as well. When you look at overall season numbers, listen, it ain't good right now. 44 receptions, 441 yards, but the averages are just about the same, a little bit down, 10 yards per catch. He's got 5 touchdowns on the season. He's on pace to possibly break his highest touchdown season of his career. Right now, his highest touchdown season is 8. Still got plenty of time to do that. Keenan Allen is definitely somebody who Caleb Williams looks to a lot to make plays. So, like, I think that you can't just sit there and say that, it's a no-brainer not to bring him back. Now, I will say this, though, right? You also want to kind of maybe throw a contract offer out there that does set the price for somebody else to come in and give him a bigger price, because the compensation pick, depending on the size of the contract that Keenan Allen gets back, could be as high as a 3rd-round pick next season because of the kind of contract that he's currently on. So these are all things that Ryan Poles has to take into account when you look at kind of where this Bears team can add next season. I mean, would I love to add Keenan Allen? Sure. Could you also tell me I could go out and get a 3rd-round wide receiver who's maybe going to make an impact on this team as well? Sure. Could I see Tyler Scott stepping in and maybe finally figuring it out? Sure. Like, there's a lot of different areas where the Bears can go with this. And I don't think that it's just one situation that you have to lock in on, to me. But the bottom line, as weird as it is to say, JC, I think I'd bring him back.
That, like I said, that was not even a conversation at the beginning of the season. So you see that there's improvement, and over the last 2 games, he's had 3 touchdowns. So yes, the production is going up. Production is where you would have wanted it to be. I think I actually saw somewhere where there was like an end of season assumption on everybody's yards and where Keenan Allen would have stood. He might be getting maybe 700 yards by the end of this thing.
Remember when we was looking for that race to 1,000?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's not a race anymore. I don't know about that because
we are running to 1,000 yards.
yeah.
You're not gonna break 400.
I'll put it into that. God, you nut, God, Waldron.
DJ might get there.
Yeah, that actually was crazy to say as well. I don't know.
63 yards,
bro. We might not have 1,000-yard receiver. I don't know. 300 yards seems like a lot for this. Maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll unlock everything in the next 5 games. What I will say is, yes, I see a world where we do bring Keenan Allen back. I read the article where on the Big Man podcast. Is that what it's called? The Big Man podcast with Kaplan and Mercedes Lewis that Keenan Allen got on there, and he said it's between either LA or Chicago. I read that article where he recently said that. He said then they offered something like going to the Giants. He said, "No, bro, not the Giants." So it's either going back to where he was or staying here in his mind. And so, hey, you got a 50% chance of already a guy that wants to stay here. And so try to work it out. Try to make it work. If the numbers don't add up, then I'm fine with moving forward. You get that pick. You get the money off the books as well, and you go forward, move forward with a better wide receiver, a younger wide receiver prospect, I should say, and then addressing maybe the O-line protection with that pick you get back.
That's why, and what's funny is, right, like people are going to look back on, Keenan Allen's time here if he does end up leaving, and probably say, that was a bad decision. That was a failed move. And I disagree wholeheartedly because, number one, you get the pick back, but two, you had Keenan Allen be able to come in and kind of teach Rome how to be a professional, how to work. And yeah, you had DJ Moore in the building that could have done that as well, but you want to bring somebody in who somebody can emulate, who somebody can, kind of look at and say, I play a little bit like him, like Keenan Allen. Now, I think Rome Odunze is much faster than Keenan Allen. Like, it's not even close. But, when you talk about the route running ability, when you talk about how to get the work in, when you talk about just how to practice, like, the best part about Keenan Allen for me in training camp was watching him make easy catches difficult, to practice difficult catches. Like how you're training, how you're growing, like all of that does matter for your team. Having that as one of your vets coming into your first season, like that to me is something that I think is going to be beneficial to Rome down the line. Now, if you keep Keenan Allen long term, right, you keep that benefit going. I do think there has to come that moment where we look at Keenan and go, hey buddy, you're number 3. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Ooh, I like that. Mutt Greer, I don't know if that's a stretch or not, but would you bring Keenan Allen in as a tight end? He's getting a little meatier around the waistline.
You seen Keenan block?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, have you seen Mercedes block lately? Every time he gets on
Mercedes is 102.
He's getting penalties. It's not that worse.
Mercedes is 100. Well, let's be real. Have you seen Cole Kmet block? Because he was setting basketball screens out there last week. My God.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Hey,
I'm just saying, if you find a way to bring Keenan back, you can utilize him in different ways. But yeah, again, it just depends on the number. That to me, it just really depends on if he's reasonable enough to say, you know what, I will take a discount because I understand. Like I said, I'm in the twilight of my career, and there's others that need to kind of come up and step forward to get theirs, and be that voice in the locker room, be that influence in the locker room. That's what I would love for him, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Just become Mercedes Lewis. Actually, how's that work? How do we get that?
I'm fine with that. Just
slowly becomes a different version of Mercedes Lewis, and he gets a penalty every single play. By the way, Jordan JC, over 200. 200. There we go. All right, now appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Don't give us that flu synergy with that like button, man. We need that Thomas Brown.
That's right.
Jordan calls him Tomlin Brown. I mean, you gotta show me something for a Tomlin.
That's right, Tomlin.
Hit that like button. Let's keep this thing moving along, Jordan JC, because
oh boy,
Bears have a very interesting game coming up this week, and dare I say, Thomas Brown could be coaching for his future replacement. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Oh, don't you do it.
Be here for the next 10 years. It's all going to be kumbaya. We're all going to love each other. And nobody will have to get punched in the face.
That's right.
We'll see. But we got to give our 3 keys to a Chicago Bears victory over the San Francisco 49ers. Let's start it off. Jordan JC, what is your number 1 key to a Chicago Bears win over the San Francisco 49ers?
Are we just to clarify, are we doing players or are we
key
just
players? I apologize. This is the player.
All right.
Key players. He was so unprepared.
I just gotta make sure.
Making it up. Catch the football. Run the football.
Catch it. Run the ball. In. I'm just making sure because there's a laundry list, as we already talked about. We got a CVS receipt of injured players, so I want to make sure I pick the right player. You are
not lying.
We just talked about Keenan. He's on here with an ankle. Since Wednesday.
He was full yesterday, though. He was full yesterday.
All right. So that's going in the right direction. Well, my first key player to a Bears win, if we're going to go that route, over the San Francisco 49ers, it's going to be the very own Keenan Allen.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You got to rely probably on the old man because a lot of the younger people are going to be hurt. Maybe DJ Moore gets in there. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of rest. I feel like DJ Moore is obviously played through a lot of injury and dinks and dunks, throughout the season. But I think Thomas Brown is just maybe giving him a little rest during the week. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see come Sunday. I think Keenan Allen, again, as you mentioned, is improving over the last 3 weeks. He has improved in the reception category. He's improved, obviously, in the touchdown category. Like I said, 3 touchdowns in the last 2 games. And so you build on that. That's where we need to see improvement. The San Francisco 49ers are also a mass unit. They got a lot of their guys out, in the secondary and in the linebacking core and the defensive ends. So there's an opportunity for Keenan Allen to do what he does best, be that safety net, be that guy that you can rely on 3rd downs and maybe even 4th downs if you have to go for it for 4th and short. I need Keenan Allen to do what he has been doing lately and just be that reliable wide receiver.
Yeah, man, listen, Keenan's got to he's got to come out and show out immediately. That's kind of what it is. He's going to be somebody who's going to be heavily relied on this week. Yeah. This could be the Keenan Allen game, but I think it's going to be more of the Rome Odunze game. That's my number 1 key player there. Right. I think there's a game where Rome and Caleb kind of just lock in and say, listen, it's us, right? The future is us. We're going to be here. And if we're going to win this game, it's got to be on our own backs. This is the game that I think you see Rome Odunze not only cross 100 yards, because he has done that a couple of times this season. Rome absolutely not having a bad rookie season for the Chicago Bears. I mean, at this point, where's he sitting at right now? I believe he hit 543 yards. Everybody's kind of around that same area. 543 yards on the season. He's averaging 13 yards per reception, but only 1 touchdown on the season. Mm-hmm. Give me Rome Odunze to have a 2 touchdown game versus the San Francisco 49ers this week. And give me 130 receiving yards on that.
Oh, all right. So
big day.
You're going big time. All right.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is the day where if DJ is not able to go. Now, this is all caveat, right? But you also got to look at this. These guys are really hurt.
Yeah.
We're coming off of a mini bye. DJ Moore DNP into Thursday, he's hurt.
Yeah,
that's not the guy you're going to be looking heavily at. He's probably going to put himself on the field, but he's hurt. DeAndre Swift hurt. Roshan Johnson hurt. Mercedes Lewis old. Like you've got these guys.
Always old.
You've got these guys who, if you're on Thursday and you're getting DNPs, these guys are going to be banged up. If you're going to win this game, I need Rome Odunze to have a big game.
Yeah. No, I am with you with that. The wide receivers have to do their job. Even though this is a good wide receiver defense, this is a good passing game defense. There's a lot to be desired when it comes to the people that are hurt on their team. I'm looking at their laundry list of names as well. You got their safety, Talanoa Hufanga. with a wrist. Linebacker Drake Greenlaw out with an Achilles that was limited in practice. We already mentioned Trent Williams, Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Bosa's here on the did not participate at least by since Wednesday with the hip and oblique. So like there's a lot of good names that are probably not going to be playing in this game. We will see. But I love the Roma Dunze pick. My second pick for key player of the Bears in a victory over the 49ers. I'm going to the linebacking core. I'm going to go to Edwards. Edwards in particular. I need him again. It seems as if he's gotten just a little bit quiet. He had a really, really good season last year where pretty much every game you saw his impact. I mean, he was up. He was very, I believe, at the top of the list in the league in tackles and also combined tackles, or rather total tackles. This year, he seems like he's gotten a little quieter. But I would love for him to kind of put his stamp on this game. When we're talking about, them playing more violent and the fact that maybe Eric Washington has a few more blitz packages, more calls to have the linebackers run in and create pressure on Brock Purdy. That's who I want to see rush in there and maybe get a few sacks, maybe get a few pass deflections, maybe an interception, whatever the case may be. Put an impact on the game, Edwards, because you have an opportunity to do so. Their run game is going to be limping a little bit. I don't know if you're going to stop it all the way, because it seems like they always find a guy who's just going to, they put in there and he does what he has to do. But you don't have McCaffrey, you don't have Mason, so try to find a way to impact the game and bring it home for us. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we're in lockstep right now because I'm going to the middle. Okay, all right. You went Tremaine Edmonds. Listen, let's just look at the whole linebacking core as a whole. Especially with Eric Washington here. Hopefully there's some more blitzing going on. But Tremaine Edmonds, where you been? Yeah, he's been real quiet. I mean, I feel like I'm sitting here doing the Pat Riley from Winning Time. Hey, Cap, where you been? Everybody's asking when you're going to retire. I'll tell you when. It was 6 months ago. Wow. God dang. Wow. Oh. Like that, like it's been far too quiet. And it's not to say he's playing poorly. It's just you're not making an impact. We're not seeing you go out there on a consistent basis and make that impact. And dare I say, I thought he was making early on in the season. Yeah. When you're talking about Tremaine Edmonds, I mean, he was somebody who was flying around to the football, wasn't allowing the extra yardage, wasn't allowing guys to get through on the tackle, was dominant, especially when it came to stopping the run early on in the season. Like I haven't seen that over the last couple of weeks, and you're really just looking, really over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and you're really just looking to see kind of, like you said, that impact from that linebacking core, that impact that they can have on the game. But also, I think this is a week, like I said, an impact in the blitz. Let's get to the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I think Eric Washington is going to be much more aggressive than Matt Eberflus probably ever was. Mm-hmm. Just out of what I've seen him do in his time in Buffalo, although I've always said I don't know who was really calling the plays there. I think he kind of was in that same role that he was in here. But when you watched him early on in the season, or early on in preseason, right, he's sending blitzes left and right. I think that's where you can see Tremaine Edmonds have a solid impact. You can also see guys like Kyler Gordon and stuff like that have an impact as well. That to me is going to be something for the Bears to really take advantage of, and I need those two to wake up. No, I'm right there with you. And a lot of reasons why I say the linebacking core is important in this game is because the guys behind them are hurt. You got Kevin Byard that's been hurt on this list. Yeah. You already know where Jaquan Brisker stands as far as the whole concussion issue and whether or not he's, going to be ready or not soon. But you need that line of defense to be really on point, because you may have a few guys behind them that are going to be your backups to the backups or your third string safeties. So we'll see if Kevin Byard can stay as healthy as possible and come back. But that's why I need those linebackers to kind of wreak havoc and be as violent as they possibly can, according to Thomas Brown's game plan. We need to just go out there, play free, play violent. And those are the ones that win the game when you play violent. My last, putting that emphasis on violent like that. I don't know. I just love it. I'm telling you, man, when Pernell McPhee said that, something in me just like, yes. I know that was years ago, but just like I'm violent. I'm like, yes, you're violent. Let's be violent. It rewards those that are violent. This game is not a soft sport. Play violent. Play it within the rules of the game. Don't take somebody's head off.
Right. Play violent.
Okay, my last and final key player to a Bears victory over the 49ers. A lot of it has to do with the fact that, again, the 49ers are really a mass unit again, but specifically one of the best left tackles in the game, Trent Williams, is possibly going to be out. I need whoever is on the other side of Montez Sweat, whether it be Darrell Walker, whether it be DeMarcus Walker, whoever it is. Hey, your boy Austin Booker. I need those guys.
They book you with the hooky.
Whatever tandem of it. I don't know what that. Whatever tandem of ends.
So wild.
Whatever tandem of ends that you put over there on the opposite side of Montez Sweat, I need you to try and take advantage of the backup to Trent Williams. If he is not going to be playing, that's an area that you can utilize. Heck, even Javon Dexter over there on that side. Take advantage of the pressure being applied from that end. And Brock Purdy is not going to be the most mobile. He can kind of move a little bit, but he's not going to outrun you. So please apply pressure to Brock Purdy.
Tell that to the Detroit Lions.
Oh boy, I'm telling you, I think I know he got a little bit like, what is that sneaky speed.
Oh, dang it! Don't you do it?
Isn't that what they always give?
Don't you play into that white boy stereotype? What they always say? He's sneaky fast. He's sneaky fast. You gotta watch him. Everything's sneaky with white guys.
It's athleticism,
or they're
out at you.
Or instead of them, it's not just pure athletic ability. It's like real cerebral.
Oh yeah. IQ. Yeah. God, I hate it. But no, that's where I see them impacting the game. Is if you're gonna blitz as much as possible, I need to see a lot of pressure from that side of the ball where you can take advantage of their deficiency, their injuries. So hey, go all in on that side. Be violent.
Violent. Paulie G with the super chat before we give our final one. He said, would y'all rather have an ugly win where the offense looks terrible or a loss but the offense looks great and there's multiple long scoring drives?
I don't want either. I don't want the offense to look terrible.
Here's the wild part. No.
I don't want a loss because that means Thomas Brown's gonna.
Yeah.
I need.
I want Thomas. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. And this is funny too. Like this is full side note here, but dog, like I was asking Courtney yesterday on the podcast. I think the Bears want Thomas Brown to win.
Yes,
I think the Bears want Thomas Brown to be successful. Like I really, when she talked about in her article, the front office, people in the front office that she's talked to, one source that she had basically saying he's the real deal. Like this guy's, it's not a joke. Like he's serious.
Yeah.
They want this mug to win. Like it doesn't feel like just the players are around him. It feels like the Bears are around him. I swear, dog. Like I know Joe was joking about it yesterday, and I've said it before, but I swear, I think Brian Poles might have been like, all right, just give it a few weeks. He'll hang himself. We'll get you in there, Thomas. You just hold on.
I'll make you pass game coordinator.
Hey, I guarantee you he won't make it to week 15.
Shane wants, he called my bluff.
Remember when I had a job?
Oh boy, that would be crazy if Ryan Poles he was cerebral enough to see it. He's got a little cerebral ability.
Hey, listen, if it works out with Thomas Brown, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
That's fine.
Before we get to that final, my final key player, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. My final key player on the day for the Chicago Bears to get a victory over the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, it's obvious, right? Nobody else has said him. I'll say him.
Oh, go ahead. Who do you got?
Caleb Williams.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mike Tomlin. Okay.
Mike Tomlin? just watching from Pittsburgh. Just you go get him. You go get him,
all
Thomas.
right.
You go get. They don't even know you're a Tamlin. You had to
The
change your
aura
name at
of
birth.
Pittsburgh. Just, yeah.
No, man, it's Caleb Williams, and to me, it's Caleb Williams coming into this week because not just the normal reasons, right? Well, he's the quarterback. He's got to throw the football well. He's got to. I think that, and I said this yesterday. There's a realization that is happening, Caleb, that I think he realizes the power that him winning has, and I genuinely think he likes working with Thomas Brown. I genuinely think that there are guys in that locker room right now who look at Thomas Brown as an answer, who look at Thomas Brown as somebody who you can go out there and rally around and win with and win because of, and he can be that next head coach of this team. For you to do that, you got to play well. And I think that Caleb now realizing that, like, let's go see some of the best football that you've been able to put on display out here. You know, that's why I don't want to see him lose, right? Even the fact that, I'll be honest with you, even Thomas Brown coaching us to a win, it's just like, if he does, it's just like, beat Flus already got us in a better position. We're feeling better. Everything's back on track. If you win in that sense, right, because I think the offense is fully bought in on what Thomas Brown is selling, you're getting the defense back in there. To answer Paulie G's question from earlier, like, to me, there's so many things that rely on Caleb Williams going out there and playing well. And I think I don't think that he understood how much of his game predicates people's futures. And I think that kind of is setting in now, where it's like, oh man, if I don't play well, right? I love Keenan Allen. Keenan's not going to be here. If I don't play well, I'm rocking with Thomas Brown. Thomas isn't going to be here. Like, I think those things will change how he plays, and we're going to see some of his best football going forward.
No, I'm right there with you. I love how you even mentioned that yesterday on the live show, the fact that I think Caleb understands how important he is to having other people kind of retain their job and retain their positions on the team. It's a huge responsibility for him as a quarterback, not just because he's some sort of quote unquote generational talent, but your play will impact decisions going forward for the coaching position, for players that are going to be here, that maybe Keenan Allen stays, maybe he doesn't. Your impact, your play is very, very important. So, you know, hey, lean on that. Lean on the fact that you are the guy that needs to make the biggest impact in this game. Go out there and do your job. Do what you've been doing the past couple of weeks, and we will probably be seeing a Tomlin 2.8.
Oh,
we'll see.
God.
We'll
He's
see.
not Tomlin, dog.
I'm telling you, man. I'm sticking to it. But we love to see it. We'll see.
You got to stop, man. You got to stop. What if he comes out and just coaches a game perfectly like Tomlin? Which is like,
I'm telling you, man. And then next year he's going to have the glasses. He's going to have the glasses too on the sideline. I love
it. Somebody's asking him after the game, be like, "Listen, Thomas, you know, phenomenal game there. Some things were said on the sidelines there. What was going on when they were drawing back and forth at you? We do not care." Oh no, he is Mike Tomlin.
He's like, yes, he said it. He said it.
The second he drops a Tomlinism, you're about to be losing your mind.
Nuts. I'm gonna go nuts.
Listen, I love the fact that he can win a press conference, bro. Win a game.
Yeah, true.
Like
true.
Muggs be looking at the press conference like the press conference is the end all be all. Like, yeah, it's cool to be able to, but you know what happens when you can win press conferences? Eventually, you stop talking in them.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, Bill Belichick said nothing at press conference.
Yeah, I mean, like Mike Tomlin don't either.
Yeah, he did. He does.
You go into Mike Tomlin press conferences, like every now and then you get a sound bite, but how often does Mike Tomlin just walk off? We get that mug every single year. You just be, Mike, what were your thoughts on the fact that Antonio Brown punched a baby in the face?
And on that note,
I'm up out of here, man. Hey, shout out to the chat in the building, man. We got Don Burr in the building. We got Clayton in the building. Where's our resident Packers fan?
Oh, Jimmy Hoffa's not in here.
Where's Mr. Hoffa?
Oh, he's looking at
those Packers looking a little fraudulent. I don't know if you 1-4 versus teams above 500.
Oh boy!
Just like the Chicago Bears.
They got shredded yesterday.
Oh, he's not a Ninja Turtles fan. Let's keep this thing moving along, JC. We having too much fun here this morning, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to finish out the show, as always, on a Friday with America's favorite game.
That's right.
More or less.
Hey, all right.
Jordan JC.
Yeah, man.
Caleb Williams has hit the under in 8 of his last 9 games on interceptions. He also has set the record for most passes without an interception thrown and continues to set it. Will Caleb Williams have more or less than 1 interception in this game?
Oh, Pat, it's looking pretty good. I like the positivity this time. We're starting off with some good stuff because I think he will continue that streak and go less than 1 interception, meaning 0.
Yeah. He will have negative interceptions, actually. He loses.
Take him back.
Caleb Williams has hit the over on his pass attempts in his last 5 games. And when you look at those pass attempts, my God, he is slinging the football here, ladies and gentlemen. George JC, will Caleb Williams have more or less than 25 passes thrown in this game?
Ooh, you know what, Pat? I'm going to say he'll have right over 25. I think he's going to go for at least 30 to 35 passes in this game. So let's go with a little bit more. Yeah.
My phone just started speaking. That was terrifying.
Oh, no.
Jordan JC. Caleb Williams has been an absolute touchdown machine over the last couple of weeks, throwing 5 in his last 2 games. He's thrown 2 versus the Minnesota Vikings and 3 versus the Detroit Lions. I had a stroke right there. Get out of here. Give me a second. Jordan JC. Will Caleb Williams throw more or less than 2 touchdowns in this game?
Oh, Pat, I think he has an opportunity to. If they're going to keep up with the high-flying 49ers, despite their injuries, I think Caleb has to be on point in the passing game. We talked about Keenan Allen maybe getting 2 touchdowns. I'm going to go more than 2 touchdowns. Hey.
I love playing this game. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's look at this 49ers side of the football.
All right.
George JC. For fantasy purposes and for the 49ers, Deebo Samuel has basically played like a fried turd all season. But the Chicago Bears have really struggled to stop the run. Will Deebo Samuel get involved in the run game and have more or less than 1 touchdown this game?
You just had to go negative, didn't you, Pat? Well, I will say this. The run defense doesn't look good on the Bears this year. So I will say that Deebo Samuel unfortunately won't look like a fried turd this week. He will get a touchdown versus the Bears on the ground. Hey.
You got him right at 1. Right at 1.
No more. No less. No more, no less. At 1.
Let's keep this thing moving along. George AC.
All right.
Brock Purdy has basically been dead behind this makeshift offensive line, but the 49ers are not going to stop there. Will Brock Purdy have more than 2 passing touchdowns versus the Chicago Bears? Is this a good old-fashioned barn burner?
Well, I'll say this. Not if Eric Washington has anything to say about it. I believe the Bears are going to blitz early and blitz often. They're going to unleash violence. Brock Purdy is not going to get over 2 touchdowns. I say he goes for 1, and that is it.
A 1-touchdown guy.
That's right.
Can't go wrong there. Some less on that. I'm not mad at that.
That's right.
Let's finish it out here, George JC.
Oh, baby. It's positive today.
Oh, we got some good music going, man. This is, you know, the best part of this is
what do we
the
got?
reset on the roadcast. This comes with like every roadcaster ever. George JC.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears have struggled in first halves this season. It's been a down part for us.
Yeah.
We were talking 80s and 90s movies in the first half of last week's game. Will the Chicago Bears score more or less than 2 touchdowns in the first half of this week's football game?
You know what? It's been mostly positive in this more or less game, Pat. I'm going to stick with the positivity. Won't be any time for talking movies. Won't be any time for talking all types of music because the Bears are going to keep us locked in the first half with 2 or more touchdowns. I said it, and it shall be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was more or less. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. George JC always a willing participant in that game. Football's out.
I enjoyed that.
TV Pat dancing got me tired. Music is insane, dog. It's like what? This is a new device. What prompted you to put funky number 7 or whatever that
I
is?
have no idea.
It's like, on that soundboard. Dog.
Like Sanford and Son or something, man. Good Lord.
Oh man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bat Don, one love. Let's go get it done.
Oh, please. Start this weekend off right.
I could use it.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Al DeSumo triple-double last night. So.
Oh yeah. Every time the Bulls do something good, we don't talk about it.
Hey, there's your Bulls up there. Modest look good, bro.
Yeah, that dunk was legend.
Oh, nasty work, bro.
Baby.
Nasty work. That boy nasty. Jive Turkey. Jive Turkey number 2. That's that beat name. I'm gonna rename it.